Grab your ballots, Wargamers. It's time for the next edition of Hintervale, the game where you call the shots. Last time we talked about the options that you had for who our main character is going to be, and now it is my distinct pleasure to introduce you to our hero, William Heth. Now, all the names of these guys, by the way, are taken from, and of course you can tell we're home because we got the sound of roosters in the back. The Xbox that you hear is not an Xbox. That's old Biscotti popping off. William Heth is our cleric. After all the votes are done, I got to tell you, I'm really impressed with you guys. You chose the holy man. God bless you. You are men after my own heart. Well, I'm not going to mess with my... You know what that is. I'm not going to mess with the focus. William Heth here. We're using Song of Blades and Heroes with Song of Golds and Darkness. And William Heth is a 2/4, he's got a quality of 2, combat skill of 4, cleric. He is also a hero, and he is also tough. Adventuring through the lands of Hintervale with him are going to be 2 fighter types. You guys, when all said and done, I had one guy vote for solo, I had a few votes for an army of mooks, and I had a whole lot of votes for a couple of bros. Again, you guys are just my kind of people. There's nothing better than grabbing a couple of bros and carving an empire out of the wilderness. So here are our buddies, our loyal henchmen, our loyal retainers who have fought for the last 10 years with us, or maybe good old William Heth made sure to keep his sigil ring with him, and when he showed it, see how they look very similar? They're kind of these lovely Dark Age Romanesque figures. They are from Splinter Light. This is an irregular miniatures doggo. We'll get to him in a second. And this, of course, the only archer I got to tell you, my collection is a little bit light on the straight-up archers. I'm going to have to fix that one of these days. And, of course, our trusty, loyal heart-shaped pen. Some of you guys seem to like those. Our first loyal henchman here on your left is going to be plain old Gwyn. He is a 3/4. He's a quality 3, combat 4. Fighter type, he is steadfast, +1 to morale. He is dashing. When he moves into combat, he gets a +1 on that round. He is strong. Now, I made up a new ability called strong. And what that means is when he wins a combat, his combat skill is 4. But if he wins, he gets to add 1 to the combat score. In other words, let's suppose that there's a combat and he wins 9-5. Now, normally with a score of 9-5, depending on what he rolled, that would either be a knockdown or a pushback. But because he is very strong, he adds 1 to the score for the result purposes. That becomes a 10-5, and now he's doubled his opponent and killed him. On the other hand, if he has, let's say, he wins with a score of 11-4, normally that would be a doubling, but because of the +1 to his combat for damage purposes, a 12-4 means it is a messy kill. Over here, standing to, and his name, like I said, was plain old Gwyn. Over here is Mendozantonio. As you can see, he's got a bow. He's a shooter medium. He also is a quality 3, combat 4. He is steadfast. They're steadfast friends. You guys said loyal friends. I said, all right, I got to make them both steadfast. He is a forester, meaning he can run through rough forest ground without penalty. He is a good shot, and he's a shooter medium. So when he attacks with his bow, he is quality 5. Then I said, hey, you know what? We're only up to about 300 points. We're a little shy. What's an Imperial Master? What is a lead general without his trusty, faithful dog companion? So this here is Caleb. And for those of you that are new to the channel, all of these names, William Heth, plain old Gwyn, and Mendoza Antonio, if you go back through the comments, which I've shut down on the last video, we're done voting. You guys have spoken. All of these names, Caleb is one of the commenters. They're all kind of, see if you can figure out which Caleb I'm talking about here. They're all kind of bastardized versions of commenters' names. So there's our 4 trusty companions. They clock in at a grand total of 163 points, 63 points, 72 points, and 35 for a grand total of 322. That's what we're dealing with. So when we go to fight, if we're going to use Song of Gold and Darkness, the recommendation is take the defenders then the attackers get 10% more than the defenders, so we can have 300 points on the defending side. However, we're not going to pay much attention to that. We are going to be doing some missions, get in, get out, and let's take a look at that map, shall we? Welcome to Hintervale. It doesn't look like much, but someday soon it will be home. This is a mountain valley surrounded on three sides by mountains with a couple of passes. And this side is open. Down here is a keep where they patrol and watch out and make sure that the current residents of this valley don't get a little too chippy. We are going to become the current residents of this valley. We're going to zoom in a little bit closer so you can see what our options are. You guys now have 4 choices. A couple of you have spoken already. Go ahead and re-vote. Tell us what you think. We can move at 1 inch a day, and the edge of the paper is a day away from the keep. We can move 2 inches a day or 3 inches on the road. Do we want, and ultimately we need to beat the Hellmouth Cathedral. We need to pacify it and cure it. There's 10 levels there. And then we've got 1, 2, 3 strange places. Possible lairs, possible help, we don't know, we gotta explore, that are kind of off the road and into the wilds. We can move 3 inches a day, and we can investigate number 6, which lies along the road, which would open the path to Hellmouth Cathedral. Once we beat one of these, we will cross it off for good and all. If this was a genuine role-playing game, it might restock unless we hire somebody to defend it. And I don't know which one to go to. That's what I need your help for. Go ahead and throw a comment down. Do you think we should go investigate number 1? Should we go investigate number 2? And don't worry about where exactly the keep is. It's a day's march from this border. That's all you need to know. The rest of the world doesn't matter. We're only concerned with this little corner. 1, 2, 3, or 6 along the road. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments. One last thought. We're going to be doing this relatively real time. I have several weeks worth of videos pre-programmed, already recorded, ready to go up. This one is going to work a little bit different. However, I have those videos pre-programmed so that if I get busy, you guys still have regular content coming out of the House of Wargaming. I know that the next few weeks are going to be busy, so it might be early June before we get to see the results of this, but once things settle down, late May, early June, we're going to hit this and we're going to start making this a regular feature, basically in real time. Not like real time like we talked about in those videos where I'm trying to teach you guys how to break 40 years of bad role-playing game habits. It's a video. We got to make some allowances for that. But we are going to be moving a little quicker with this one. Give you 4 or 5 days to vote in the comments, shut it down, and then we'll record and post a new video. Same thing here. Let me know what you think. Where do you want to go with William Heth, the heir to the fallen empire, and his good buddies, Plain Old Gwyn, Mendoza Antonio, and his trusty companion, Caleb. Oh, which I should point out, I forgot to say, Caleb, because he's a doggo, he is an animal, which doesn't mean a whole lot when you've got a limited number of people. If everybody dies, he runs away. He moves fast, he is greedy, and he's a forester. So just like Mendo, he does not get penalized by moving through woods. The greedy means that if he delivers a death blow to somebody, he's got to spend 1 round, like picking at it, eating it. I guess he's a hungry dog, unless he makes a quality check. And if he fails that quality check, then he has to spend a full action satisfying himself that there's nothing to eat on that fallen guy before he can move on. So that's that's why he's only 35 points, despite being a 4+ quality and a 3 combat. That's really all I got for you today. About a 10-minute video, pretty quick. We'll try to take a little bit longer because we're going to have some exploration to do. Tell me where you want to go. Until then, I'm praying for you.